What people are suffering is their freedom. That's why it is so tragic. I never form an opinion on anyone. How they are in this moment is all that matters. How they are tomorrow, let us see. Tomorrow must be created, not concretized right now. What we need is not good human beings. We need sensible human beings. You did not create life, so you have no business to take it either, whether it is yours or someone else's. Why human life needs so much attention is because we are human beings. Your ideas of good and bad are just a certain level of prejudice against life. When any being calls or really yearns, the existence answers. If the thirst within you is strong enough, God always answers. For many people, the more they think, the more incapable they become of smiling. Any fool will seek liberation when he is suffering. It takes enormous intelligence to seek liberation when everything is going well. Only for a person who is living with duality, there is good and bad karma. If you can use it when you want and put it aside when you don't, the mind can be a fantastic tool. If you want to experience a mountain peak, you either elevate yourself to that level or simply look up. Taking responsibility is not accepting blame instead of assigning it. It simply means consciously responding to the situation. Once you take responsibility, you will invariably start exploring ways to address the situation. You will look for solutions. If you can look at everything lovingly, the whole world becomes beautiful in your experience. If creativity has to happen, we have to develop a certain level of undistortedness in the mind. If you can carry the baggage of life with you all the time, you cannot see anything the way it is. When death knocks on your door, your life will be focused, and naturally, you turn inward because outward is of no use anymore. In the inner life, there is only one kind of revolution, and it is a silent one. It is about moving from unwillingness to willingness. If your humanity overflows, divinity will follow and serve you. It has no other choice. The hardest life in the world is to be constantly putting yourself out into the world like you are joyful when you are not. When you are not happy, to show everybody that you are happy. It costs a phenomenal amount of life. Living totally does not mean just having a good time. It means experiencing anything that comes your way fully and intensely. The very process of life is the dissolution of karma. If you live every moment of your life totally, you deserve an enormous volume of karma. If you are really interested in knowing life in all its depth and dimension, it is imperative that you look inward, not out. We really do not need another nuclear explosion to annihilate life on this planet. Just a successful economy can do it quite effectively. Learning is a natural human trait. When you learn something that you did not know, it should make you joyful. But if learning is making children miserable, then we have not understood how to impart learning. Fruit is the most easily digestible food, and all human beings know this instinctively. The first thing is to stand up and be sensible, to handle this body, to handle this mind, to handle these emotions, things that are within you right now, to handle them sensibly. Your psychological structure is a stone wall. If you are willing, every moment of your life can be a fantastic experience. Just the act of inhaling and exhaling can be a tremendous love affair. All human experience is 100% self-created. Even if the world doesn't happen the way you want it, at least your thoughts and emotions should happen the way you want them to. The logical aspect of your life and the experiential dimension of your life are diametrically opposite to each other. Intuition is not a different dimension of perception as people usually try to make out. Intuition is just a quicker way of arriving at the same answer. Intuition is just a way of making use of the data and jumping the steps. Emotional you is also the thinking you. The way you think is the way you feel. What the mind forgets is that the ability to respond is the basis of life. If the ability is acknowledged willingly, you become blissful. If it happens unwillingly, you become miserable. Inner pleasantness is a surefire insurance for the making of a peaceful society and a joyful world. Creator is just pure intelligence. Intelligence beyond logic is creator, or what you are referring to as God. Different people need different kinds of impetus. If they are sensible, they learn by just looking. If they are not sensible, they learn by a thrashing. Life will thrash them. If you generate a powerful thought and let it out, it will always manifest itself. For this to happen, it is important that you do not impede and weaken your thought by creating negative and self-defeating thought patterns. The moment you get strongly identified, you lose your perspective on life. What then is the way out? The way out is a very simple change in direction. You just need to see that the source and basis of your experience is within you. Life is one kind of sound. Death is another kind of sound. Those who cannot hear the sound of death think death is silence. Death is not silence. It is just another kind of sound, but may not within the hearing range of a normal ear. What kind of food you eat, how much you eat, how you eat, turning it from a compulsive pattern into a conscious process. This is the essence of fasting. What you accumulate can be yours, but it can never be you. The logic is simple. If you do the right things will happen to you even without your intent. So the whole process of spirituality is just about enhancing your perception. Unfortunately, if I use the word spirituality, people think they will have to chant or go sit in the temple, church, or mosque, or that they have to give up their food and clothing. Spirituality is not about that. It's about enhancing your perception. Good and bad are always according to your ego requirements. If you go by this, you enslave yourself to the dualities of life. You divide the existence, so the question of turning spiritual never arises. One should use information and logic as a drunkard would use a lamppost, only for support, not for illumination. The only thing that stands between you and your well-being is a simple fact. You have allowed your thoughts and emotions to take instruction from the outside rather than the inside. Every kind of misery that human beings are going through is manufactured in their minds.